I'd like to call the December 22nd, 2015 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order and ask you to join us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to introduce the board members starting to my left.
Sumit Shah.
Christopher Bluer.
Todd Chernick.
Jim Hilly.
Need a motion to adopt or amend the agenda.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'd like just to make an amendment if I can to do that, perhaps.
Okay.
I can make an amendment. I'm sorry.
So you may have to take that off.
Yeah.
Well,
Would
we
you like
never
to take-
seconded, so we're good.
I'm sorry?
We're good. We didn't second his motion.
Oh,
It wasn't seconded, so.
I didn't, so. That we remove the last item on the agenda that we're going to adjourn to Vinnie's after tonight.
And add the, and if we can, add the approval. of the
And then
process.
add, under new business, number 8, approval of the 2016 calendar.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ooh, change, look at you.
Opposed? It passed unanimous.
Change it up. Didn't mean to step on you there,
Keep us
Jim.
light on our feet.
I know, I stepped all over your toes there.
I'm looking for a motion to approve the November meeting minutes.
Before you go forward, that was a motion to amend the agenda. We need to adopt it as amended.
Oh, need a motion to adopt it, the agenda as amended.
Motion to adopt it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt the amended agenda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimous. Number 4 on the agenda, approval of the November meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve the November 2015 minutes as published.
I'll second that. We have a motion to approve the November meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It passed unanimous. The Board of Zoning Appeals is a quasi-legal board comprised of resident volunteers of the City of Milton. The board is charged with hearing requests for variances from the standards of the zoning ordinance and appeals of administrative determination. With regard to decisions on primary variances, the board's basis for decision is provided by these 4 considerations. Relief, if granted, would not offend the spirit or intent of the ordinance, and there are such extraordinary and exceptional situations or conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property that the literal or strict application of the ordinance would create an unnecessary hardship due to size, shape, or topography, or other extraordinary and exceptional situations or conditions not caused by the variance applicant, and relief, if granted, would not cause a substantial detriment to the public good and surrounding properties, and that the public safety, health, and welfare are secured, and that substantial justice is done. Moving on to primary variances, V15-029.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you, Ron.
we are going to ask that this case be heard one more time, but I'll give you a little more information. So of course, this is a request to add a pond within 100 feet of the property line. In the process, we also found out that there is a well on the neighboring property within 72 or so feet of the property line, and per Fulton County requirements, the barn has to be 100 feet, I believe, away from any well, and the applicant had to go to Fulton County to see about that, and according to the adjacent property owner, Fulton County will not grant a variance on this because it's a life and health safety thing. So I'm just waiting for the applicant to formally withdraw this. I haven't heard from him.
Okay.
So I don't anticipate that this variance will be going forward.
Okay. I'll make a motion to defer V15-029 to our next meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for deferral. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimous. Moving on to V15-032, 2112 Birmingham Road. Is it 2112 or 2122?
2112. Birmingham Road is a single-family home located on approximately 5.43 acres. It is zoned AG1 and is in the rural Milton overlay. The subject site contains a 1,508 square foot residence that was built in 1980. The existing residence is approximately 100 feet from the right-of-way. The owners, Adam and Ashley House, purchased the property with the intent of constructing a new residence of approximately 1,500 square feet for their family and using the existing residence for an older family member. The distance of the existing house from the road precludes construction of another residence in the front yard. And just to clarify, the 1,500 square feet does not include a detached garage. Section 64-15983 states that the maximum heated floor area of a guest house shall be 1,500 square feet. Section 5 states that the location shall be limited to the rear yard. Because the existing house, 1,508 square feet, and will be located in the front yard of the new residence, a two-part variance is required. On December 2nd, 2015, the DRB offered the following comments. The new house looks to be in a good place. The staff held a focus meeting on December 4th, 2015. Site plan review, the city architect, the arborist, and DOT stormwater all had no comments. The standards for consideration were read earlier, and the applicant responds as follows. The houses purchased the property with the intent of constructing a new residence for their family and using the existing residence for an older family member. The existing residence is approximately 100 feet from the street right-of-way and would not allow construction of another residence in front. Since this parcel was created via the minor subdivision process, this parcel may not be subdivided except via the formal final plat process. Therefore, the house's only practical solution is to obtain a variance and construct a new residence in the rear of the property. In our opinion, if this variance is granted, it would not offend the spirit or intent of the ordinance. The existing conditions of this parcel with the location of the existing residence and size and shape create an unnecessary hardship for compliance with the ordinance. Should relief be granted, there would not be substantial detriment to the public good or surrounding properties, and the public safety, health, and welfare are secured. If this variance is granted, it will allow for the construction of a new residence on 5 acres and help preserve the rural character of Milton. The staff response. The existing conditions of the property limit where a new residence can be constructed. It is not possible to construct a house in front of the existing residence. This creates a hardship for the owners. The subject lot is approximately 800 feet deep, allowing plenty of room for an additional house. The proposed residence will be built in the rear of the property, approximately 500 feet from the existing house. No further intrusion into the rural view shed will be required. The existing house is just slightly above the allowed maximum. This difference will be indistinguishable. Approving this variance will not offend the spirit or intent of the ordinance. Relief, if granted, would not cause a substantial detriment to the public good and surrounding properties. The public safety, health, and welfare will be secured, and substantial justice will be done. And conditions. Should the board choose to approve the application, staff recommends the following conditions. Staff has no conditions at this time. Staff recommends approval of this request.
Are there any questions for staff? I have one question. Looking at the aerial photo on page 8 of our packet, to the east, which would be to the right, I guess, on this page, there's 2 structures neighboring the subject site. Is that one lot, or is that two separate lots?
They are two separate lots. If you go back to the site map up front, you see that.
Okay, there's a little flag there for the driveway?
Kind of a weird flag kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, so that would, that flag lot would be considered to be the adjoining property, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions?
One point of just disclosure, if I can. I live on Birmingham Road. I am, I guess, in proximity, a neighbor, but I am not familiar with the applicant, so.
Okay. I'd ask the applicant to present.
Should be under your pile. Members of the board, I'm Scott Reese with Brumbelow Reese and Associates, doing business at 13685 Highway 9, Milton, Georgia 30004. I'm here tonight representing the Haas family and their application for a variance to construct a new residence on the property they purchased, roughly consisting of 5 acres. You guys typically do not see me because I work very hard with my clients to avoid conditions that do not allow for construction inside the ordinances of the City of Milton. However, in this case, Mr. Haas purchased the property, he and his family, and had not read the 500-page Milton City Ordinance document. Had no idea that he could not construct another house, or the underlying fact that the property had been some 12 years ago subdivided via the, at that time, Fulton County minor subdivision plat process. And the new City of Milton interpretation is that any lot thus created cannot be subdivided. In the past, we were able to subdivide under separate sections of the minor subdivision plat, but there's been a ruling that we can't do that now. So he cannot subdivide, and to put 2 residences on the property, the ordinance says, you know, the cottage house or carriage house has to be in behind the primary residence. We can't do that. Also, the ordinance is for 1,500 square feet, and we're 8 feet over. We can't really go saw off parts of the house. So we're here. His only other alternative is the major subdivision of property, and by the time you go through detention ponds and street improvements and all, you're in the multiple tens of thousands of dollars, no matter if you have 2 lots or 50 lots. It all fits in one box. There is a 58-point checklist that major subdivisions have to come under. That's not practical in this situation. So that's why we're here. We're seeking relief. It's going to be, 1 primary residence on 5 acres. We just spent 2 years going through a conservation subdivision ordinance trying to create large lots. So I think it will be completely in keeping with the intent of the City of Milton as far as comprehensive land use plan or any concept of what we're seeking here in the city. Large lot, basically wooded, tucking the house in the very back. The only thing, the 1,500 square foot on the proposed new house, that's just the first floor. So it's going to be 3,000 square feet or more. That's the footprint of the ground floor. So it would. So we're trying to keep the grading to a minimum, everything in there, but we need the relief to go forward. So if you have any questions, be glad to answer them. Mr. Haas is here with his legal counsel, so they will they will try to answer any other questions that I may not. Thank you for your time.
I have two questions.
Yes, sir.
You were starting to, I think, explain to us the location at the rear of the property and the rationale for that.
Well, it is a choice by the family. When they purchased this property, they sought out a wooded, larger piece that they could tuck their house in and not be readily visible to their neighbors or the street. And so we've put it, and the topography is such that we're going up a relatively steep hill,
Right.
and then we land on top, and it is it's the preferred building site from a topographical standpoint, too.
You heard earlier I was asking a question about the flag lot to the
Yes.
east. The proposed site for this new home, it seems to be in relation to that house. Is there any letters of or discussion with that neighbor?
We have, we went through the process, and no one has contacted us with yays, nays. Typically, in my experience, if someone does not like the plan, we hear from them. If everyone's copacetic with the plan, we do not hear. So there has been no any contact, negative or for the project.
Okay, are the houses friendly with this neighbor? Do they know this neighbor? Are they living in this?
Yeah, the neighbors are occupying the residences there. The Haas's have only owned this property, 2 years?
No, less than that. February, March.
So almost just a year.
Okay.
So they're, I guess, kind of limited contact.
Okay. That was my only questions. Is there anyone else on this?
Is anybody actually staying in that proposed guest house right now?
There was an original tenant, and when the purchase, there was an agreement that you would let her stay for this. Originally, this was an estate. Had multiple children. The mother died. Children contacted us per the will. We had to subdivide the property per the will in 2000. I'll have to find my minor subdivision plat.
Within the last couple of years.
No, this was 15 years ago
Ah.
when the mother died and each child got, and in this particular case, it was a proportional division. Very odd. Typically, it's 5 kids, 5 equal lots. This one we had, because if you'll notice in the back, those are odd configurations. We do not typically have L's and cutouts in our property. But when we are given a legal document that says, create 2.68 acres and
Right.
1.95 acres, we have to do that. So to answer, I guess, the question is, there is a tenant. She was there prior to, and when I was taking pictures, she alerted me to the fact that she was allowed to live there till the Haas's do something further. So,
Anything further, Samit? Jim?
No, you asked my question about neighbors.
Chris?
No.
Okay. I have no further questions at this point. Are there any? Is there any public comment? Hearing and seeing none. Applicant has an opportunity to present a rebuttal or closing statement.
I think I'm fine. I would be glad to entertain any more questions, but I think we've stated the case about as well. I mean, the reason we're here is we're in a box.
Sure.
We can't find a solution without this, an economically practical solution.
Understand?
Thank you.
Are there any questions for staff?
Answer one question. Is, based on the applicant's testimony, this cannot be further subdivided?
If it was subdivided, they would have to go through the formal final plat process, and that's detention ponds, water quality, sidewalks, literally like a normal subdivision.
Okay. I'll get to it with a motion. I just have one thought.
Okay. Any other questions for staff? All right, I will note that the public hearing is closed, and I'll open the floor for a motion.
I'll offer a motion to approve petition V15-032 with the requested variances to allow a guest house to exceed 1,500 square feet and to allow a guest house to be located in the front yard with no additional conditions. Oh, referencing land surveying plan by Rumbelow Reese dated, where's the date on this thing? October 26, 2015.
I'll second.
Can I just be clear, when you say referencing, are you asking that it be site plan, that it be constructed in compliance?
Sure, in
With
compliance with, right, land survey from Brumbelow Reese and Associates dated October 26, 2015.
That was what I thought you meant. I just wanted to make sure.
Sure,
It was clear.
sure.
I'll second. Any discussion?
One quick point, or I guess one question. Should we allow, if this ever were to be subdivided, does it make sense for us to add an easement on a driveway easement to the back house?
Actually, technically, an easement that is held in the same name as the property owner would merge with the
Would that have a
estate.
null effect?
There would be no easement if it were created right now.
Okay.
And
Nope, I get as I think through it, I understand.
if they got to that point, they would need to do that. Also, there's a requirement if you landlock or if you
Right.
you
Fair
would
point.
have to
Okay.
require access.
Good, that's it. Thank you.
Any other questions or any other comments for discussion on this proposed motion? Hearing none, I will ask for a vote. All those in favor, state your aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed unanimous.
Good luck.
We'd like to thank you guys for
Thank
taking
you.
time out of your holiday week to
Yeah, no
cover
worries.
this
Appreciate your
special
patience.
meeting.
Appreciate
I
your
mean,
patience.
I
with the
understand it
process.
was through no fault of anyone's that we got left off the last agenda, but I know you guys can appreciate the interest clock never stops ticking, and he would like to go forward. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Moving on to number 6 on the agenda, consideration of appeals.
I have none.
Old business.
I have none, other than we will reschedule the holiday social and the training in January.
So we'll start the training at 6 as we originally discussed, and we'll do a social following.
What date is that in January? I'm sorry.
Well, we're going to discuss that in
No,
a
I'm
second.
sorry. It's the third Tuesday.
The 19th.
19th. I'm here.
That's good. What's our caseload for January?
I have one, maybe?
All right, that would be
Yeah,
good.
just one,
Is it including this one that's been deferred, or in addition to?
plus that one.
Plus that one. So potentially 2. More than likely 1.
Okay.
Get out of here quick, right?
Well, I just want to know if this is a good time to schedule, and it sounds like it will be.
Sounds like it is, yeah.
Okay, any other old business? New business?
We just need to approve the 2016 calendar. I don't have a hard copy in front of me, and it's still keeping with the third Tuesday of the month, 7 o'clock. I don't think we're affected by any holidays. We'll change any dates.
Any discussion, concerns with that proposed third Tuesday?
No, I know Angela brought up earlier that do we need a December meeting? My 2 cents would be to keep it. I'm concerned that if we simply delay something to tonight's applicant's point, this is a long process, and let's not make it longer.
I echo that sentiment.
Yeah. So that-
Which would be December 20th
right.
in this case. my anniversary, but that'll be okay.
Note to self.
It's only 19, it's not 20.
You want to say hi, honey?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's turned our camera. It's not pointing at us anymore.
Huh, interesting.
So
It must have been a podium over there.
I'll make a motion for the third Tuesday of each month in 2016 for our BZA meetings at 7 p.m.
I'll make a second.
A motion and a second. For third Tuesday of each month, 7 p.m. BZA meetings. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimous. I need a motion to adjourn.
You've made two motions tonight. You don't want to make a third?
I'll second.